Right. So in continuation of the MCQs which we've discussed in series 5, right? We in the sample MCQs which have been issued by ICAI, the set 1, in that there are 50 MCQs, right? Out of that 25 I've discussed in the MCQ series 5 video, right? So this is the series 6 video in which we will be discussing the remaining 25. Right, and the first 25 were very small, like for debtors, which when you send an external confirmation, it is for which assertion. So we said it is for the assertion of existence, and now these are like double, triple, 4 times the size of the earlier 25 MCQs. Right, so lots of theory to be read and to be understood, but again the main concern, we have to develop the knack. Okay. Right, so let's start with question number 26. No doing selective reading. Okay, you have to read the entire question. Right. NNP Limited is in the business of retail and has been suffering losses. The turnover of the company has been same over the last 3 to 5 years. The company has Oracle as its ERP package. The internal auditor of the company observed that there is no process to review the supplier master on a periodic basis to identify the cases of incorrect updation, redundant supply codes. Right, so the internal auditor observed that there is no process regarding some supplier matter. Key fields were not made mandatory in Oracle at the time of vendor empanelment, and maker checker mechanism was not enabled in Oracle. There is no mechanism to track redundant supplier codes and block them from further transactions. For 5750 out of 9076 active suppliers, that is 63.3%, no transaction had occurred in the past 180 days. For 4972 out of these 5750, no transaction occurred in the past 1 year. For 35 out of 9076 active suppliers, the state code in the GSTIN updated in the supplier master file did not match the state mentioned in the supplier's address. Payments valuing INR 27 crore have been made to such suppliers. Management explained that for redundant supplier codes, annual review will be conducted by the purchase team to identify such codes, and post an approval from finance, purchasing will be blocked for the respective vendors. For GSTN and state mismatch, management has already commenced assessment to identify the reasons for such errors, and all such inconsistencies will be rectified in the next 6 months. Please suggest in terms of reporting. Right, so some problem in their controls relating to the suppliers. Management responses look reasonable and the matter should be dropped. We never. Right, the matter is more of related to hygiene and may not have any impact on the financial reporting, and hence should be ignored. So one, you can just keep it in your mind, drop and ignore, never. We don't drop, we don't ignore. See, these, practically you have to know if you've done an internal audit, it's so much of effort to get even one observation of internal audit. And if we find an observation, will we just say, okay, let's drop the point, let's ignore the point? Never. Right? We will put it in our report. Right. Internal auditor needs to report this matter. Internal auditor should look at the significance of the matter, material, and on the basis of the same should decide about reporting on the matter. Irrespective of materiality, internal auditor needs to report this matter. Right, so simple one line. So again you may think, okay, internal auditor should look at the significance of the matter and then accordingly decide. You may get carried away. No, it is simply that internal auditor, you need to report this matter. Right, internal auditor need to report this matter. Right, next one. DPP Limited is in the business of software and is in the growing phase. The company's turnover has been increasing year on year and the margins are good. The company is also planning an IPO in the next 2 to 3 years depending on the market assessment at that point of time. It was observed by the internal auditors of the company that it does not have a documented segregation of duty metrics. So there's supplier problem. Now here, no segregation of duty. Internal auditor has identified. Access controls were tested on basis of leading practices and following observations were identified. Users apart from finance and accounts team were having access to critical financial transaction. Users apart from quality department were having access to quality clearance transaction for raw material and finished goods. Multiple users having access to purchase order approval, though it should be confined to the HODs and the purchase heads. Management of the company explained to the auditor that the company is new and this may be required for a well-established company. Please advise that we are new, this may be required for well-established company, but they are saying the company is coming up with an IPO. Profit margins are good. Okay, right. Management of, yes, so generic accounts increase the risk associated with accountability and might lead to unauthorized access, which could result into impact on financials. It will also affect the transparency and auditing trail that corresponds with the account. Hence, there should be a proper SOD matrix. Okay, so they say there should be a segregation of duty matrix. Generic accounts increase the risk associated with accountability and might lead to unauthorized access, which could result into impact on financial. Similar sentence. It will also affect the transparency and auditing trail that corresponds with the account. There should be a process of SOD, though it is not necessary to document that. No, you're wrong at that. Yes, it is required to be documented also. Management is right, and accordingly it is not relevant for the internal auditor. Out. Since currently the operations of the company are running smoothly, there is no need for complicating the internal business environment by setting up an SOD matrix. Absolutely wrong. Right, so the correct answer over here is going to be A. Right, A is the correct answer. Coming to 28. Look at the name, KSHTZ Limited. A listed company, is in the business of stainless steel and is more than 50 years old. The company's turnover is 11,000 crore and has good profit margins, which have been improving over the last 2 years. The company is also planning to raise funds in another 5 to 6 months. The company has SAP as its ERP package. Recently, there has been a change in the internal audit team. The new internal auditors observed that there has not been any approved policies and procedures in place in their audit period from April 1 to 30th September. So what does it say? No approved planned policies and procedures. Right, information security policy and procedure, change management policy, user access management policy. Also, the policies and procedures do not have any version control, owner and review details, etc. Management of the company explained to the auditor that the company does not require this and hence this point should be ignored. Please advise. Absence of well-defined and approved policies and procedures may lead to management's intended practices and objectives not being clearly communicated to and understood by organization employees, and hence there should be approved policies and procedures in place. Okay. Absence of well-defined approved policies and procedures may lead to management intended practices and objectives not being clearly communicated to and understood by organization employees. Hence, there should be a process to follow policies and procedures, though it is not necessary to document that. Out. Right. Next one. Right. Management is right, and accordingly it is not relevant for the internal auditor. Out. Absence of well-defined and approved policies and procedures has not impacted the company till date, and if the management has reasons not to keep this, then the same should not be considered by an internal auditor. Out. Right, so which is the correct answer over here? A. Right, A is the correct answer. Hence, there should be approved policies and procedures in place. Okay, pay attention. Right, question number 29. ACE Private Limited is a large company and has diverse operations. The company is planning to get listed to raise funds. Over the last year, the company did not use much of technology, and with changing times, the management has also identified the need to bring mechanisms in place in order to improve upon the use of technology. The internal auditors, okay, so all questions internal auditor, of the company, while review of business continuity planning BCP disaster recovery plan, observed that the identified disaster recovery site of the company was in the same seismic zone as the primary site. It has to be at a different location. Therefore, the effectiveness of the disaster recovery plan was not verified. The management discussed this matter with the internal audit team and explained that the present DR plan is to protect against hardware failure and building level exposure. They will plan for city level DR along with the annual business plan in another year. Right? So right now there is no proper disaster recovery plan. Right. Please suggest which one of the following option is correct. DR plan is not of much relevance and should not be focused upon by the internal auditor in his report. Incorrect. DR plan is an outdated plan and in today's scenario it is not required, hence internal auditor should drop. I told you drop we never. Right? Generally we never. Absence of a disaster recovery site in a different seismic zone might lead to failed or delayed recovery of business operations in an event of natural disaster. It is important for the management to plan this, and hence internal auditor should also report this. Since the management has a plan for DR in near future, this matter is not relevant. No, future plan is later, but right now it is required to be reported. Right, so which is the correct answer over there? right? Which is the correct option over there? C. Right, C is the correct option. Right, coming to question number 30. ASOP Limited is in the business of trading and manufacturing of FMCG. The turnover of the company has been increasing. However, the company has not been able to maintain its margin constant, which are declining. Right, the internal auditors of the company has raised observations on the sales scheme of the company. As per the SOP, all schemes are required to be approved by the CEO of the company. However, per process, it was observed that all schemes were approved by the Chief Sales and Marketing Officer. Review of sample 89 support schemes for the month of May 18 and June 18 highlighted that 19% that is 17 schemes were not approved by the CSMO. Management replied that there is a need for revision of SOP to reflect current paradigm. They shall amend the SOP to reflect the same. Please advise how should these matters dealt with by the internal auditor. Right, so again an observation, what should the internal auditor do? Since the management has agreed on the observation of the internal auditor should drop these points out. Right. SOPs are not aligned to on-ground practices followed by the concerned official. Therefore, the SOP, standard operating procedure, should be updated. Until then, there should be a mechanism to follow the existing SOP. Okay, SOPs are not aligned on ground practices followed by the concerned officials, and hence the same should be reported by the internal auditor. Internal auditor should look at the materiality and basis that can ignore this, as this will not have such impact out. Right, so now what does it say? Should be reported by internal auditor, right? And then what does it say? This is point number C, should be reported by internal auditor, and this is SOP should be updated. Until then, there should be a mechanism to follow the existing SOP. Right, so should it be reported by the internal auditor? Yes, it has to be reported. Until the time the new system is set up, should they follow the existing SOP? Right, if you are going to buy a new car, till the time you buy the new car, will you use the earlier one which you already have? Obviously, you will use that till you get the new one. Right, so till then, there should be a mechanism to follow the existing SOP. Right, so that is why the correct option over here is B. Right, so it is tricky. Generally, what we say that the auditor should report this point. Right, the auditor should report this, internal auditor should report. But now here, what does it say? It has to be updated. So auditor will tell the management that you update, but till that time, whatever is there, that is required to be followed. Is it right? Right, coming to 31. BCP Limited is in the business of manufacturing of cranes. It is a wholly owned subsidiary of a Chinese company and follows policies and procedures of the parent company. The company's annual turnover is 1000 crore. The company operates through dealers in India for making sales and pays incentives to them on the basis of delivery-based schemes and other schemes which are introduced from time to time. It was observed by the internal auditors of the company that incentives amounting to 10 crore were paid to the dealers on account of delivery-based schemes for the month of October 18. Review of crane installations for the same period highlighted that incentive amounting to 30 lakh has been paid against invalid claims. This was primarily because of absence of verification of the delivery claims with the installation data. Management replied that disbursement basis 100% verified installations has been defined as per the process. Revision in process has been done to protect inordinate delays and reimbursement to the dealer. Please advise how should these matters be dealt with by the internal auditor. Since the management has agreed on the observation of internal auditor should drop, say no. Okay, the impact of the matter is not significant and hence the matter same should be dropped. Again, say no. Okay, right. Incentive paid against non-genuine claims bear financial implications for the company. Verified installation data should be taken for considering the incentive payout. This matter should be highlighted by the internal auditor in his report. Okay. Internal auditor should ask the management to take corrective action and basis that drop this point. Say no. Right, as this is a matter which is of financial implication which needs to be considered by the statutory auditors of the company. What are you saying? Right, so the correct option over here is C. Right, the internal auditor needs to report. Right, coming to question number 32. PRP Limited is a service company and is in the business of manpower consultancy. The company also has some manufacturing operations based out of Orissa. The annual turnover of the company is 1500 crore. the employee base of the company is very big. Please advise what internal audit procedure. So now they were asking internal auditor, should you report, drop, ignore, what to do? Now they are saying, please advise what internal audit procedure should be considered by the internal audit team for the audit of labor cost vis-a-vis the wages. Right, so comparing the time booked in the booking sheets with the clock records on a sample basis. So should you check the time booked? Yes. For a piece rated job, wage job, in case of an in-job process, checking that the output booked in the booking sheet is in line with the standard output possible in the stated time. In case of a major variance, inquiring into its justification and authenticity. In case of a finished job, checking the output booked in the booking sheet with the actual output generated for the period as per the production sheet. In case of variances, inquiring into the same, right? So for piece rated job, yes. In case of a person doing more than one piece rated job during the period, checking that total time book minus overtime hour is equal to normal hours available in the period. Okay. Test checking the following with the master list, the grade book, the operator code, the job code, that is which job are you working on. Average earning job, verifying on a sample basis that the job categorized as average earning job does not have any piece rates as per the master file. Comparing the standard time required for output booked as per the master file with the actual time booked. In case of a major variance, inquiring into its justification and authenticity. Test checking the calculation of wages as per the laid down formula for arithmetical accuracy. Right, so reminds you if you've ever done checking of salary, wages, okay, piece rated wages or any problems which you've done. Okay, right, so some points look. Now let's look into the options. Yes, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all 5, okay. Then second option 1, 2, 3, 4. They are telling ignore 5. Average earning job, test checking the calculation of wages. There is no need to ignore it. Right, 1, 3, 4 and 5. So they are saying ignore 2. Piece rated job. So they are saying either don't check average earning job or piece rated job. Even those both are to be checked because they are talking about the total labor cost. Right, they are talking about the total labor cost. And what is the fourth one? Right, 1, 2, 3 and 5. So they are telling you to ignore 4. What is 4? Right, the test checking the following with the master list, the grade books on which job the work has been done, even that is required to be checked. Right, so the correct option over here is going to be A. Right, the correct option over here is going to be A. Right, coming to the next one. OQR Limited is in the business of manufacturing of tractors and cranes. The company has a policy to provide after-sales service to the customers in respect of its product. Please advise what internal audit procedure should be considered by the internal audit team for the audit of after-sales service. Right, so what internal audit procedure? Again a question on the procedure. Assess replacement trend, nature of failure and the replacement policy. So they are talking about the after sales service. So you have to check the replacement rate. Examine the percentage of replacement of manufacturing defect vis-a-vis offtake. Okay, manufacturing defect and the later ones. Examine which type of product model has a higher failure record and why. Okay. Check whether any particular dealer failure percentage vis-a-vis his turnover is higher than the norm. If so, why? Right, so one particular dealer, is it high? Check whether there are adequate technical audit on awards of replacement. Okay. Evaluate the effectiveness of after sales service with regard to its scope and consumer satisfaction. Is this service prompt and timely? Okay, so you're doing also the customer care, right? Consumer satisfaction. Right, so first option 1, 2, 3, 4 and 6. So what does it say? Don't check 5. Check whether there are adequate technical audit on awards of replacement. I think in the after sales, whether it is being done properly, the replacement and all, even that is required to be checked. Then 1, 2, 4, 5 and 6, right? 1, 3, 4, 5 and 6, right? This should be 6 over here, right? So second one, examine the percentage of replacement of manufacturing defects. Obviously that bifurcation is also to be done. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that is they are saying don't check the effectiveness of the after sales service. And the last one, it says check all, right? So all are required to be checked, right? All these in the after sales service are required to be checked. Next one. Essex Limited is in the business of steel manufacturing, having a turnover of 10,100 crore. The company has many plants. Each plant has a canteen and some income also gets generated in the canteen every year. Being the internal auditor, what internal audit procedures may be applied to audit the canteen income? So now we are coming to the third internal audit procedure question. Right, check the records maintained for the canteen operations to support all financial transactions. So the records maintained for the canteen. Review the agreements and contracts in case the canteen is being run by an outside party. Compliance with the laws and regulations applicable for the operation of the canteen, the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, the Shop and Establishment Act, FEMA, GST, Companies Act, etc. Verify leakages that may take place, example by way of non-deductions from staff or excessive consumption of food in the mess despite fixed menus, which are helpful in providing some measurement of the likely consumption of the food article. Which of the above mentioned procedures would be relevant? Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, earlier two answers, it was all of the above. Okay, so this one also your mind might say, okay, it should be all of the above. That is why they've given the first one only. Okay, don't read the others also. Okay, now records maintained, do you need to check? Yes. Agreements and contracts, if it is by a third party, outside party? Yes. Internal auditor, what internal audit procedure? Compliance with laws and regulation. Now, I think that is something which is not really looked upon by the internal auditor. Right, and the last one, leakages, obviously internal auditor you have to check. Right, so third one, okay, need not be checked. Right, then 1, 2 and 3, so fourth one has to be checked. 1, 2 and 4, so they are saying 1, 2 and 4, which suits are what we are saying. Right, because laws and regulations need not be checked. Compliance, that will be done by statutory auditor as a part of statutory audit, SA 250. Right, and 1, 3 and 4, that is, it says don't check the contracts with the outside agency. No. Right, so more correct answer over here is the C one. Right, C is the correct option. Right, 1, 2 and 4. Okay. Right, coming to the next one. Right, TPL Private Limited is in the business of software and consultancy services. The annual turnover of the company is 899 crore and profit is 199 crore. The company is planning to get listed in the overseas market within a year. If that doesn't happen, then the company may look for funding through private placement. For some projects, the company receives grants from government. These projects run up to 5 to 10 years. XYZ Company LLP is the internal auditor of the company. Please advise what internal audit procedure should be considered by the internal audit team for the audit of the grant received. Right, so again, internal audit procedure. Check the donations received with the copies of receipts. Immediately reminds you of intermediate, special audit, NGO, charitable institution. Check the donations received with the copies of receipts. Check sanction letters for any conditions attached with the donation. Examine the statements submitted for the utilization of the grant. Right, so donations received, sanction letters, statements submitted, verify the grants received from the government or other authorities with reference to all of the correspondence, and verify all the bank statements of the company to trace the grants received and its utilization. Okay, right, so first option, all of the above, right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Next option, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, what does it say? Donations received with copies of receipts issued, sanction letters, statements submitted for utilization of grant and the grants received. Next one, 1, 2, 4 and 5. So it says don't check the statements submitted for the utilization of the grant. Okay, then 1, 3, 4 and 5. Right, so 2, it says don't check the sanction letters, and then 1, 2, 3 and 5. So it says don't check the grants received from the government or any authorities. Right, so it is more of internal audit procedures that we are talking about. Right, so verification of the bank statement, that comes more for the statutory auditors and the substantive procedures. Right, so more for internal auditor, it is going to be procedure number 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so that is why the correct option over here is B. Right, bank statements are not required to be reviewed, but the copies of receipts, sanction letters, utilized statements submitted, the grants received, right, these internal audit procedures are to be reviewed. Had it been substantive audit procedure for statutory auditor, it would have been all of the above. Okay, right, pay attention. Right, 26. ONZ Limited is in the business of trading of consumer equipment. The company's turnover is 347 crore. The company has not been doing well over the last few years, due to which its profitability has gone down significantly. The company charges cartage freight from its customers. Because there is a huge cost incurred in this respect, the company ensures that this amount is recovered on time. During the performance of internal audit procedures, so you're getting mastery over internal audit procedures and reporting. Right? During the performance of the internal audit procedure, the internal auditors of the company found that in some cases freight was charged in the bills manually rather than through the automated system of generating an invoice. Internal auditor raised this point to the management. The management replied that this happens only in exceptional cases, that the freight is charged manually on automated generated invoice. How would you deal with this as an auditor? Right? Internal auditor should report this matter. Internal auditor should discuss with management about way forward and drop this point out. Internal auditor observation is not right, out. Internal auditor should ignore on the ground of materiality. I think by now you know that this is also out. So the correct answer, simple one. Internal auditor should report this matter. Right. 37. MNO Limited borrowed an amount of INR 5 crore from a financial institution during the year. The company had existing borrowings of 1800 crore from various banks. However, the company took loan from a financial institution for the first time. The rate of interest charged on the new loan was based on the market rate of interest, and there was no security for this loan. During the course of the internal audit, so they are not yet done with internal audit, internal auditor could not find the borrowing agreement for the new loan and raised this point with the management. Right, the management explained that new loan was required for a special purpose for which all other documents are available for the auditor to verify: disbursement proof and the bank statement, right, repayments. However, the agreement was not prepared because the person who arranged the loan from the financial institution was known to the company, and basis verbal understanding this has been done. Please advise internal auditor. So all other loans have been taken from bank, 1800 crore. This 5 crore loan, no security, nothing, has been taken from a financial institution. No security for this loan. Internal auditor should report this matter, as this can be a serious deficiency. Because all of the proofs are available, internal auditor should ignore this point, say no. Okay, internal auditor should report this matter to RBI. What are you saying? Right, considering the insignificant amount of this new loan as compared, we don't consider materiality, to total borrowings of the company, this may be ignored. No. Right, so internal auditor should report this matter, as this can be a serious deficiency. Okay, right, 38. AAS Limited is in the business of fast food chains. During the internal audit of accruals and expenses of the company, the internal audit team observed that for some of the entries passed, the narration was wrongly written as if the expense is related to the travelling expense. The vouchers were passed by the finance personnel of the company, but no review mechanism was seen for this. Management explained that there is a review mechanism, but this is only about the narration of the expenses, which should not be relevant for the internal auditor. How should the internal auditor deal with this matter? Now, internal auditor is saying your narration of entries is not proper. Okay. The management should perform the review of the entries to check such things, and the same thing should be reported by the internal auditor. The company's management seems reasonable over here. Right, this matter should be considered on the basis of materiality. Out. Internal auditor should further investigate, as this is indicative of fraud. Okay, now internal auditor, will he do further investigation? Does he want to find out deficiencies in internal control or fraud? Due to deficiency, if there is a fraud, that is a different thing. Okay, right, so should investigate further. No. The company's management seems reasonable. No. How can they be reasonable if their entries are not proper, the narrations are not proper? The management, the company should perform the review of the entries to check such cases, that wherever the entry, the narration has gone wrong, to review them, and the same thing should also be reported by the internal auditor. Okay, right, 38. Now 39. Medivision Industries designs and manufactures spectacles. Medivision's year-end was 31st March 2018, and its draft financial statements show a profit before tax of 60 lakh. The fieldwork stage for this audit has largely been completed, but there are a few outstanding issues. Right? I hope the data is still going in. Okay. On 1 January 2018, Medivision began the commercial production of a new range of lightweight frames, which have been proven to keep their shape regardless of how roughly they are treated. Up to 31st December 2017, the company had correctly capitalized development cost of rupees 45 lakh relating to this project. The directors believe that these new frames will have a product life of 3 years. The financial statement showed development cost at a carrying amount of 45 lakh. MediVision accounting policy states that it amortizes intangible assets on a straight line basis. The auditor's report for MediVision is due to be signed in the next week or so, and you have been unable to resolve a disagreement with the directors concerning the amortization of the development cost. The directors have refused to include in any amortization on the basis that sales of the product have not yet commenced. Which of the following options correctly summarizes the impact on the auditor's report if the issue remains unresolved? Right, so development cost, what does it say? The new frames will have a product life of 3 years, right? Development cost of 45 lakh, right? The directors have refused to include any amortization that sale of the product have not yet commenced. But the development expenditure is already incurred. No, so from that date, the expenditure has to be amortized, as they say the life is 3 years, so over a period of 3 years. Right. Which of the following option correctly summarizes the impact on the auditor's report if the issue remains unresolved? So that means there is an issue, and if it remains unresolved, the auditor to provide an unmodified opinion, since the directors are correct not to include any amortization on the basis that sales of the product have not yet commenced. No, but development is over. Right. The auditor to provide an unmodified opinion with an emphasis of matter paragraph about the amortization charge on the capitalized development cost. The auditor to provide a modified opinion, that is an adverse opinion, since having obtained sufficient appropriate evidence, concludes that the misstatement is both material and pervasive. Right? What is the size of the company? Says 60. They have a profit before tax of 60 lakh. Right, and what is the amount of amortization which is to be done? 15 lakh, right? Total 45 lakh. Okay, and the auditor to provide a modified opinion, qualified opinion due to a material misstatement of not recording the amortization charge on the capitalized development cost, which is material but not pervasive. Right, so obviously the auditor should issue an unmodified opinion. No. Entire financial statements not true and fair. No. Right, so it would lead to a qualified opinion. Right, modified opinion, which will be a qualified opinion. Okay. Right, coming to 40. You are an audit supervisor of Swaminathan and Associates and are currently planning the audit of your client Zonal company which manufactures elevators. Its year end is 2018 and the forecast profit before tax is 25 lakh. At the beginning of the year, Zonal purchased a patent of 5.3 lakh which gives them the exclusive right to manufacture specialized elevator equipment for 5 years. In order to finance this purchase, the entity borrowed 4.5 lakh from the bank, which is repayable after 5 years. Which of the following is a response to the audit risk identified by you in planning the audit for the reporting period? Right, they've purchased a patent of 5.3 lakh. Which of the following is a response to the audit risk identified by you in planning the audit for the reporting year? Right, the audit team needs to agree the purchase price to the supporting documentation and to confirm the useful life is 5 years, recalculate the amortization charge to ensure the accuracy of the charge and that the intangible is correctly valued at the year end. Okay. The company has borrowed 4.5 lakh from the bank via a 5-year loan. This loan needs to be correctly split between correct and non-current in order to ensure correct disclosure. In accordance with Ind AS 38, intangible assets, the patent should be included as intangible asset and amortized over its 5-year life. Also, as the level of debtors increase, there should be additional finance costs. There is a risk that this has been omitted from the statement of profit or loss, leading to understated finance cost and overstated profits. Okay. What does it say? Which of the following is a response to the audit risk identified by you in planning the audit for the reporting period? Right, so we need to do the audit, the vouching verification of that patent which has been purchased during the year. Right, so if I look at procedure number 1, it talks about, that needs to agree the purchase price to the supporting documentation and to confirm that the useful life is 5 years. Then recalculate the amortization charge to ensure the accuracy, and then the intangible is correctly valued at the year end. So this is talking about the entire procedure. Right, checking about the borrowed funds, that will not come under property plant, that will come separately. Right, that will not come under the intangible assets over here. Then Ind AS, you have to check whether intangible is amortized, that is covered in point number A. Right, and then they are talking about debtors increase, but there is no mention about that in the question. Right, no mention about that it has not been recorded or accounted for. Okay, right? So the correct option over here is going to be A. Right, so we've completed, right, from 26 to 40. Now coming to 41 to 50. Right, so big questions over there. Right, Team Sangh is Team SG International Company is a manufacturer of electrical equipment. It has factories across the country and its customer base includes retailers as well as individuals to whom direct sales are made through their website. The company's year end is 2018. You are an audit to supervisor of Suraj and Company and are currently reviewing the documentation of Team SITS is internal control in preparation for the interim audit. In the past 6 months, Team SG has changed part of its manufacturing process, and as a result some new equipment has been purchased. However, there are considerable levels of plant and equipment which are now surplus to requirement. Right, so they have purchased a changed part of its manufacturing process, and as a result some new equipment has been purchased. There are considerable levels of plant and equipment which are now surplus to the requirement. Purchase requisition for all new equipment has been authorized by the production supervisor, and little has been done to reduce the surplus of the old equipment. Which of the following control can be recommended to address the internal control deficiency in the respect of the acquisition of new equipment and the treatment of the old equipment? Not too much of excess purchasing being done, so acquisition of new equipment and treatment of the old equipment. Right. Regular review of the data on the unused equipment on the master file by a responsible official and the review to be evidence. So they are only talking about unused equipment. Supplier statement reconciliation should be performed monthly for all suppliers, and these should be reviewed by a responsible official. So they are talking review suppliers. Capital expenditure authorization levels to be established. Production supervisor should only be able to authorize low value items. Any high value item should be authorized by the board. Okay, so they are talking about the capital expenditure authorization level. And observe the review process by senior factory personnel identifying the treatment of any old equipment. Right, review the process of this by senior factory personnel identifying the treatment of any old equipment. Okay, so unused equipment only they are talking about in the first case. Right, second one, all suppliers you review. That is not relevant for checking, the serious control deficiency which they have, the internal control deficiency, too much of purchasing happening. So how to regulate the purchasing? By putting proper authorization requirement. Right, so production supervisors should authorize only the low value items, and high value items should be authorized by the board. Right, any high value item should be authorized by the board. Right, coming to 42. Right, you are a manager in an audit department of Narang and Company, and you are dealing with several ethical and professional matters raised at recent management meetings, all of which relate to audit clients of your firm. One of your clients, Burnwood and Company, has a year ended 2018. During this year, the company has established a pension plan for its employees, and this year end, the company will be recognizing for the first time a pension deficit on the balance sheet in accordance with Ind AS 19 employee benefits. Right, the finance director of Burnwood Company has contacted the audit engagement partner asking if your firm can provide an actuarial valuation service in respect of the amount recognized. Right, section 144, auditor not to render certain services. Statutory auditor, can you do this actuarial valuation work? No. Which of the following option needs to be considered by the audit engagement partner? The issue is whether there is a self-review threat, as the valuation of the amount recognized would be recorded in the financial statements. The audit partner should decline the work of the valuation service. The issue is whether the audit firm would be likely to possess the competence required for such valuation service. The audit partner should decline since not professionally qualified to provide the valuation service. Narang and Company needs to assess the materiality of the figure and the degree of subjectivity involved. If it considers that safeguards like using separate personnel, performing a second partner review could reduce the threat to an acceptable level, then it can go ahead with both the audit and the valuation service out. Right. The audit partner could go ahead with the valuation service and disclose the fact in its audit report about the service provided during the period. This will safeguard and reduce the threat to an acceptable level? No. Right, and we are not accepting it because we considered the competence and we don't have it. It is because we are not allowed, because it is a self-review threat. right? So the audit partner should decline the work of the valuation service. Is it clear? Right, next one, right? 43. PR company designs and manufactures specialized furniture for offices in and around the city of Mumbai. The revenue has been gradually increasing over the last few years. The main concern for PR company is finding credit-worthy customers who will make the payment on the due date. You are assigned as the audit team member to test the controls in sales and purchase system of the entity. The year end of the entity is 2018. One of the control objectives of the sales system of PR company is to ensure that goods and services are sold to credit-worthy customers. Which of the following control activities would assist in achieving this objective? Right? Which of the following control activity? Right. All sales order above rupees 10 lakh is based on authorized price list. Credit limits for all the customers are checked before the sales order are accepted. Overdue debts are chased each month by the credit controller, and the age debt listing is reviewed by the finance director of PR company on a monthly basis. Right. Why do they want control? That goods, to ensure that goods are only sold to the credit worthy customers. Right. Sold only to the credit worthy customers. Right. So all sales order above 10 lakh is based on authorized price list. I think all should be based on authorized price list only. Right. Then age debt listing is reviewed by the finance director on a monthly basis. Aging of the debtors, that comes later. Okay, right now we want to say that they are sold only to credit worthy customers. Credit limit for all the customers are checked before the sales order are accepted. That will ensure that goods are sold only to credit worthy customers. Right, and the next one, overdue debts are chased each month by the credit controllers. So, right, what does it say? That after the payment, the goods have been sold on credit, they are being chased upon to receive the money from the debtor, right? After the, what do you say, the period, whatever time has been given to him for the payment, after that the money has been received. Okay, right. Now this is one where I have a little bit of conflict with the one which has been said by ICAI to be correct. ICAI says that C is the correct answer. So I would still over here say that C is the correct answer. But for this one, I am not convinced. For all others, what ICAI says are right. Okay, this one I find little bit that, you know, because they are saying that what is the control objective? To ensure that goods are sold to credit worthy customers. So obviously the credit limit for the customer should be checked before the sales order are accepted. But then, so according to me, I think B should be the correct answer, or maybe there is something which I have not understood the reasoning in the question. So that is why I am thinking B. But as per ICAI, the correct answer is C. Are you getting? If you look at the list of the answers at the end, okay, what is given over there, that for 43, the answer over there is C. But I think that it's too illogical, that particular one. You know, because overdue debts are chased each month by the credit controller. How will that ensure that your goods are sold only to credit-worthy customers? But then, no, boss is always right. So the answer as per ICAR is C, but maybe someday later we might see a clarification or something on it. Okay. So what do we do? Right now you do C. Okay, you'll say, okay, that is the conflict, but what we'll do if it comes in the exam? Then I think you have to mark it as C, right? And then wait for any clarification if it comes. Right, and if you have any observation, you can put it in the comments. Okay, right, question number 44. You are an audit manager of DC and Company, and you are currently responsible for the audit of Beauty Pearl Company, a company which develops and manufactures health and beauty products and distributes these to the wholesale customers. Its draft profit before tax is 43 lakh and total assets are 38 lakh for 2018. The final audit is due to commence shortly, and the following matter has been brought to your attention. Right. Beauty Pearl Company has a large portfolio of property plant equipment. In January 18, the company carried out a full review of all its PPE and updated the useful life, residual value, depreciation rates and methods for many categories of assets. The finance director felt the changes were necessary to better reflect the use of the assets. This resulted in the depreciation charge of some assets changing significantly for this year. Right. Which of the following substantive procedure should the auditor perform to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence in relation to the matter of depreciation on the property, plant and equipment? What have they done in the current year? They have reviewed. and update full review of its PPE, updated the useful life, residual life, depreciation rates and the methods for many categories of assets. The finance director felt the changes were necessary to better reflect the use of the assets. This resulted in depreciation charge changing significantly for this year. Right, which of the following substantive procedure will you perform? Review the capital expenditure for the next few years to assess whether the revised asset life corresponds with the planned period until the replacement of the relevant asset categories. Right, of the relevant asset categories. Inspect the non-current asset accounts for a sample of purchases to ensure that they have been properly allocated. So, sample of purchases. Consider whether the proceeds on disposal of PPE are reasonable and recalculate the profit or loss on disposal. For a sample of fully depreciated assets, inspect the register to ensure no further depreciation is charged. Okay. Right. So, one sample of purchases doesn't come over here because the depreciation charge has increased significantly. So, focusing on that, this cannot be the relevant point. Right. Disposal of assets, again no, because our concern is regarding the depreciation. Sample of fully depreciated assets, inspect the register to ensure no further depreciation is charged. Okay, but those assets have been fully depreciated. We are more concerned with where they have revised the useful life of the assets, updated the useful life of the asset. Right, so they are saying, say, instead of 4 years, now we will use this asset for 2 years, or instead of 4, we'll use it for 6 years. Right, so review the capital expenditure budget for the next few years to assess whether the revised asset life corresponds with the planned period until replacement. So look into their forecast. They are saying we'll use this asset for next 2 years. You check their budgets, whether after 2 years they are going to replace that asset. Okay, then only the useful life, then only the depreciation charge is going to be relevant, whatever updations they have done. Okay, because if they say this asset life is going to get over after 2 years, then check in their budgets that after 2 years whether they are going to do the replacement of that asset. Right, so the correct option over here is A. Right, coming to 45, pay attention. Right, as an internal auditor of LMN Bank Limited, you have to verify the vouchers for 2018 of a branch at Ahmedabad. While verifying the vouchers, your team noticed that many of the bearer checks processed by the teller have not been stamped as paid. When discussed with the branch manager, he stated the reason as ignorance on the part of official who has been assigned the duty of verifying the vouchers. As an internal auditor, what should be your next course of action? Right, considering the matter as immaterial, ignore it for the internal audit report, say no. Right, the branch manager should be advised to rectify the discrepancy and the observation is closed in the internal audit report, noting the corrective action taken. The matter should be immediately reported to TCWG of LMN Bank Limited. Report the matter in executive summary of internal audit report as it is a significant internal control lapse. Right, so matter should be immediately reported? No. Right, now B and D. Branch manager should be advised to rectify the discrepancy, that right, the teller, and the observation should be closed in the internal audit report, noting the corrective action taken. So we had an observation, then what is the finding, what is the corrective action taken, and the matter should be closed. Right, and report the matter in the executive summary of internal audit reports as is it a significant internal control lapse. No, so they've just not written teller, you tell them to take the corrective action and you also put it in your report. Right, so B is more correct, no D. Right, 46. ALM Limited is a trading company engaged in the business of selling ready-made garments with a turnover of 85 crore. Your firm has been appointed as an auditor for 18-19. In the process of audit for the half year ended 2018, your senior has instructed you to verify the debtors of the company. While verifying the same, it came to your notice that the company is not taking balance confirmation from the debtor and the balance shown in the books of the company is considered final for the preparation of the accounts. As a statutory auditor, what should be your decision on the debtor's balance? They are saying whatever is there in book, final. No need to take confirmation from debtor. Statutory auditor should review internal audit report and ensure as per section 143 that the company has adequate internal financial controls in place. From where did this come? Okay, there is no need to take direct debtor confirmation as it is immaterial for the purpose of audit report. No. The auditor is required to take external confirmation independently, and wherever the auditor gets negative or no response, or the response is doubtful, an alternative audit procedure should be followed. This is what your teacher has taught you. Right? So see, a management representation letter should be obtained by the auditor. No. Right? So the correct option is C. Right? The auditor is required to take confirmations independently, and whenever the auditor gets negative, no, or doubtful response, an alternative audit procedure should be performed. Next one, 27. As a central statutory auditor of KG Limited for 18-19, you need to verify the bank balance for 2018. The company is holding bank accounts in 5 different banks, but you found that the bank reconciliation is not complete for some of the bank accounts. When discussed with the management, they explained that the number of transactions in these accounts is very huge on daily basis, and there are some old entries existing in the reconciliation statement from the year 2008, and they are not material in nature. So it is difficult to reconcile these bank accounts. As a central statutory auditor, what will be your decision? Right. The unusually old outstanding entries, as they are not material in nature, should be removed from the reconciliation statement, and the balance in the books of account should be considered as the balance for balance sheet purpose. The auditor should confirm the appropriateness of the old outstanding entries by taking bank confirmation for the same to reduce audit risk and obtain a management representation letter on the pending reconciliation. The auditor should disclose the matter in the notes to account of the audit report with respect to incomplete bank reconciliation statement. And no, the auditor should communicate it to TCWG as a deficiency in internal control. No, you are a statutory auditor mainly. Right, so what does it say? The unusually old outstanding entries, as are not material, should be removed from the reconciliation statement. No, right, so the correct option over here is B. Right, the auditor should confirm the appropriateness and also take a representation from the management. Right, 48. You are an article assistant in PQR and Associates. You are assigned as an internal audit of X Limited, a leading company on business of dairy products. While evaluating internal controls associated with related party relationships and transaction, you come across some discrepancies. What is the basic information to be collected by you relating to related party relationships and transaction? What information will you collect? The identity of the entity's related party, including changes from the prior period? Yes. The nature of the relationship between the entity and these related parties? Yes. Understanding of the business activities of the related parties. I have to understand the transactions of my entity with related party. I don't need to first look into what are the activities of the related party, so that I'll keep it on hold. Whether the entity has entered into any transaction with these related parties during the period, and if so, the nature and extent and the purpose of this transaction. Yes, so we check for relationship also and the transaction also. Materiality. Irrespective of materiality, what you say, AS 18 and AS 24 reporting is required to be done, the disclosures. Right. So what does it say? What is the basic information to be collected by you related to related party relationship and transaction? 1, 2 and 5. Right. So 1, 2 to fixed. So 1, 2 if it is fixed, that means it cannot be C and D. Right, because identity and the nature of relationship. Okay, so now what is left is 1, 2, 5 or 1, 2 and 4. Right, so now 1, 2 and 5. Materiality of related party? No, all related party relationship transactions we have to disclose. Right, so that is why 1, 2 and 4. Right, next one, 49. AMS company is a computer hardware specialist and has been trading for over 6 years. The company is funded through overdrafts and loans and by several large shareholders. The financial year is 2017. AMS had significant growth in business in the previous years. However, in the current year, a new competitor, BOM and Company, has entered the market and through competitive pricing has gained considerable market share from AMS. One of AMS customers has stopped trading with them and has moved its business to BOM. In addition, a few specialist developers have left the company and joined the new company BOM. AMS had found it difficult to replace these employees due to the level of their skills and knowledge. AMS has just received notification that its main supplier who provides the company with specialist electrical equipment has ceased to trade. right? So all going concern. Which of the following audit procedures should not be performed in assessing whether or not AMS is a going concern? Which of the following audit procedures should not be performed? Okay. Evaluating management's plan for the future of the business by finding out from the financial director whether the company has gained any new customers or replace the customer loss, right? Management plans we do check into. Review board meeting minutes for the evidence of process on recruiting specialist developers to replace the ones who have left to join BUM. So again, that's a management plan. Okay. Analyze and discuss the entity's last 2 years of financial statements to determine whether it is consistent with the cash flow forecast. Okay, so had they told us to check only the cash flow forecast and the assumptions underlying those forecasts and the data, whether it is objective, that would have been correct. Last 2-year financial statements, going concern is foreseeable future, na? 1 year from the date of balance sheet. So this doesn't seem to be okay. Last one, review the correspondence with the shareholder to assess the probability that any of the shareholders choose to increase or sell their investment. So again, that comes as a part of the management plan, whether any increase in the equity ownership stake, right? So these C procedures we will perform. The C procedure we will not perform, right? So which is the correct answer over here? C, right? Which procedure which shall not be performed. And coming to the last one, right? So I'm very happy with those who have come till here. Okay, many would have already, not seen the entire MCQ. They might be okay, enough, done. Okay, right. ASM Motor Cars Company manufactures a range of motor cars and its year end is 2018. You are the audit supervisor of Khanna and Associates and currently preparing the audit program for the year end audit of ASM. The entity undertakes continuous production of car 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. An inventory count is to be undertaken at the year end and Khanna and Associates will attend. You are responsible for the audit of work in progress and will be a part of the team attending the count as well as the final audit. WIP constitutes the partly assembled cars at the year end and this balance is likely to be material. ASM values work in progress according to percentage of completion and standard costs are then applied to those percentages. Which of the following is not a substantive procedure the auditor could perform to obtain sufficient appropriate audit evidence in relation to the valuation of work in progress? So which procedure you will not perform? Okay, discuss with the management how percentage completions are attributed to WIP. We will have to understand the process. We will have to discuss with management. Observe the procedures carried out in the count in assessing the level of WIP considering the reasonableness of the assumptions used. So also observe the procedure followed. Okay. Then during the count verify all the percentage completion. So all cars which they are making now, it says verify all the percentage completion if they are in accordance with ASM policy, right? And review the level of variances between standard and actual cost, right? So level of variances also we need to check as it is costing, right? Inventory related, right? So verify all the percentage completion. No, that is not feasible, right? So which is the correct answer over here? C. Right, during the count verify all the percentage completion. No, it's the responsibility of the management. As an auditor we only attend and on a sample basis we will verify, right? So that completes this entire set, right? So series 5 and series 6 put together, right? Thank you so much.